To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. Made a video a while back and it turns out that I was right, or in this case, VP Harris was right. Before I get into that, I want to cover a few things. First of all, got some walnuts. Walnut trees are producing. I don't think my camera's good enough for you to see the walnuts, but there's a bunch of walnuts in the tree. They keep falling down. The squirrels are chasing after them. This one, I think they got this one pretty good already before they fell. We got 2 of them out of this tree, but got several out of the other one. Last year we didn't get any walnuts. They got a big walnut tree down in the woods and it didn't produce any this year, so who knows. So I try to inspire you to live your dream and live free and happy, specifically free and happy. I want you to live your dream, but hopefully that includes being free and happy. And I try to always give a positive outlook on terrible situations. All last year we were locked down in the pandemic and I was showing you how happy I was because I was on this property and I was building a tiny house. And I remember going and getting the old Franklin wood stove so I could build an outdoor heat exchanger. We met the guy, it was on a Facebook Marketplace thing. We met the guy at McDonald's and everybody was terrified. We were just so scared of the pandemic. Walnut. But we got home and we were able to stay here for several months. We hardly ever left. We had plenty of food and we were just getting started. That was a real event. That was something that was real. And then I hear people talk all the time on YouTube videos and in my comment section and on Facebook, and they always come up with these fear-mongering scenarios. Oh, we got to be afraid, we got to be afraid, we got to be afraid. And they come up with all kinds of stuff to make sure that you're afraid and being prepared for it. Of course, they don't teach you how to be prepared. They just teach you how to be afraid. I try to teach you how to raise chickens and live off solar panels, where you can find free firewood everywhere. You don't have to have a lot of acreage. You can live off a minimal amount of acreage because everybody's giving away valuable firewood. Walnuts. As soon as these are ripe enough to split, I will show you how to harvest walnuts. Just in case you have walnut trees in your yard, like we do. Even though there are lots of terrible things going on out there, you don't have to worry about them. I live a completely stress-free life, and I don't know how many people believe me when I say that. If you go back to one of my very first videos when we were thinking about traveling the country, you can see I was just death warmed over. I don't know how much longer I would have lived with all the stress I had. But here, I sleep well at night. I don't have bad dreams. I don't have anxiety. The worst thing we have is a raccoon that wants to get into the chicken coop. Just nothing really is that bad. Well, one of the things we talked about was this mandate. How now, you know, you're going to lose your job. So everybody's losing their job, they're losing their job. Again, whether you agree with the mandate or not, or whatever, I don't have to worry about it. I can live here, pay my own bills, pay my own way, I'm debt free. There's just no stress involved. For example, yesterday in my comment section, don't even know where it came from. I was talking about hyperinflation and how I'm concerned about hyperinflation. I'm concerned about a food shortage because these are reality things. These are things that we can actually measure and see. We can see that there is a shortage on workers. You go to Taco Bell, they got one employee there just running around with their hair on fire. The lobby's closed because they don't have enough employees. So when they tell me that there's a trucker shortage, I can say, huh, I can relate to that. That makes sense. There is shortages at Taco Bell, so obviously there's got to be shortages everywhere. So when they're telling me there's a worker shortage, got it. I believe that one. It's measurable. You can see it. So, and then when you talk about hyperinflation and you go to the store and you see shelves are empty, again, back to the trucker shortage, and you see that all the chicken has been taken and the prices have been jacked up, you can say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Hyperinflation is a real possibility. Hyperinflation is about the nation has a high debt and we're printing tons of money and there's a shortage on supplies and a demand for those supplies. So all the things that contribute to inflation are in effect right now. It's measurable. You can see it. I believe it. It's not something I have to be in fear of. I know it's there, so I can take a little bit of action to compensate for it. We hear about misinformation all the time. And I tell you, you can't trust media at all. I mean, I completely 100% agree that the media either isn't telling you something or is telling you a straight out lie. So they're either hiding the truth or just lying about the truth. And then you get on social media, and again, lie, lie, lie. We're all gonna lie. And I don't understand why we have to lie about any of it. Things are bad enough. I used to say that all the time. I don't need to believe in conspiracy theories. I used to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't need to believe in conspiracy theories because the things that are true are bad enough. Why do I want to add on to it to things that may or may not happen? It's a guess. We have right now a driver shortage. We have a worker shortage. That's bad enough. I don't need to make things up just so, you know, we can go out and be more scared. Who do you trust? Who do you believe? Again, believe your own eyes. Believe what you see and work on that problem. Get that problem resolved before you move on to any conspiracy theories. We don't need them. And so to kind of clarify what this means is I get a lot of comments each day, and I want to try to respond to these comments in videos. If they're true, I'd like to, you know, talk about them, and so we're all kind of on the same page. So I got a comment the other day that says, well, I can tell you for one thing, I'm a cow producer and I'm not going to pay $2,600 for cow farts. What are you talking about? And if you don't think that's bad, then they're going to charge $500 for hogs. Well, I hadn't heard anything like this. So this cow producer who's in the business of making money with cows, and he's going to pay $2,600 for, I guess, carbon dioxide tax. I don't know. So I Googled it, $2,600 carbon dioxide tax. And every article I read said it was a myth. It's not in the legislation. It's a large piece of legislation, but apparently it's not there. Now, they did admit that there is some carbon taxes, but it wasn't going to be put on farmers. It was going to be put on oil producers. You sit here and you got to rifle through all this information and misinformation, trying to get the story straight. Missouri just raised the gas tax here in Missouri. And you can file a paper next July where you can get a rebate on all the taxes you paid, and yeah, it's like 2.5 cents. And I'm like, so we don't drive that much. Yeah, I'll fill out the paperwork just so I can have the extra money. But they say if you miss one receipt or you miss your calculations, you're not going to get the money and all that. Well, I'm not stressed about it. Who cares? It just doesn't matter. It's not a huge loss. It's not something extra I want to pay. And I wish I didn't have to, but things are bad enough. So since I don't drive that much, I stay here. I'm pretty happy. I'm free. Why sit there and stress about it? And so that's what I'm trying to encourage you. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, if I drive this many miles and I got to pay an extra 2.5 cents a gallon, and it's just on and on and on, and I'm going to go broke and I can't afford it, then change the situation so you don't have to afford it. Change the situation so you can be happy, be free. So a few weeks ago, I made a video where I said VP Harris makes a dire warning. And in the video, I talked about that she said there are going to be supply shortages. And if you're thinking about buying Christmas presents around Christmas, don't. There's not going to be anything available. Do it now, is what she said. And so I was trying to convince folks to not worry about Christmas, perhaps make your own Christmas presents and focus on food, because food is a problem. So we got hyperinflation, which we can see. We got shortage of truck drivers and high prices, and just so, okay, we can see that. And so what she is saying is kind of going along with what I've already known. There's a worker shortage. Then maybe we need to worry about food and not Christmas. And so I made a video and I talked about it, and oh my goodness, the pushback on that in the comment section was horrendous, because a lot of the people who oppose her party immediately say, oh, you can't trust anything she says. And I'm thinking, well, why are we all of a sudden just attacking her? I mean, whether you agree with her politics or not, she made a statement that if you look at it, it's going to hurt her political chances. She is saying your Christmas is going to be terrible if you wait to go Christmas shopping in December. That's bad for her. Why would she say something bad for her? You can't trust her. Well, okay, I can't trust her, but in this case, why would she say it? It doesn't make sense. If she was saying, oh, Christmas is going to be fine, don't worry about it, the worker shortage. What worker shortage? You don't believe your lying eyes. Then, okay, then maybe, okay, yeah, I'm not going to believe her. Well, here we are, just a few weeks later, and once again, we can see the evidence. Worker shortage, trucker shortage. All of a sudden, there are, I think they counted 58 container shipping ships out there in the harbor off the coast of California. There's a bunch of them in the harbor of New York City, and nobody's unloading these ships. So in this particular case, VP Harris's warning about shortages in December, we need to take seriously. So once again, without having a lot of fear in my heart, I can say, well, okay, we're comfortable. I've been talking all along. Let's just be happy. Let's be free. I was just offering a cautionary information that added in with what we already know. I didn't have to speculate. I didn't have to, stretch my imagination. It is there. It is something we can see. So I hope I can continue to inspire you to look for freedom, and happiness, and no stress. Thanks for watching.